What's up everybody, GoToaster9, JJ Shankles here. It's been a little hiatus. I've moved to Huntsville, and today we're going to do a little video on time-lapse. A little bit on how easy it is to do it on the GoPro and a couple different settings, and how to do it on the Nikon Z6. It takes a little bit more work, but the quality is just incredible. So let's get to it. So that was a hyperlapse with the GoPro. I really like the hyperlapse feature of the GoPro over the time-lapse. If I'm doing a full time-lapse, I'll probably just use this Nikon, but with hyperlapses, the GoPro is a great feature to use. So the biggest part of setting up a hyperlapse is knowing the timing, knowing how long you want your intervals to be. So it's important to know how long of a hyperlapse you want. Typically for any sort of hyperlapse or time-lapse in general, try to go for about 10 minutes as a maximum, 5 to 7 seconds maybe for a transition shot. But 10 seconds maybe for an opening, a sunrise, sunset. Anything over 10 seconds, it'll probably be a little bit boring. That's just kind of the limit I try to go for. 20 seconds, no one wants to watch 20 seconds of the sunrise unless it's just an amazing sunrise and they're just watching a sunrise. A transition or an intro piece, you don't want it to be very long at all. It's an interesting transition from Nashville down to Huntsville, because this is like the big park downtown. This is beautiful, amazing. I know it's Friday midday, but in Nashville, this will be packed. If something this beautiful is in downtown Nashville, it'll be full of people all hours of the day, and it's kind of cold and blistery out. It's a little bit snowing, flurries you'd call it, coming down out here, and no one's here. And it's great because you get the whole place to yourself. You take amazing pictures, you can practice out, you're using your camera, doing some time lapses. So since this is a video on time lapses, I did want to talk a little bit about conditions. It's an overcast, kind of dreary day today, which is perfect for time lapses. It gets very even lighting on everything you're gonna try to take a time lapse of, and it also makes it easier to slow down the shutter speed. Slowing the shutter speed really smooths the motion out and makes it just more interesting. There's less staccato to the motion. It makes cars moving by look all blurry and beautiful, instead of it just being like some choppy cars just flying by with short shutter length. So an overcast day is actually kind of beneficial. So it's nice with the Nikon Z6, you'd have two options. One is an interval timer. It'll take shots at a certain time. It'll take full 24 megapixel shots and put it in a separate folder if you select that option. And you have to take those pictures upon yourself to put them into your own time lapse. You can make it whatever you want. You can make it a full 6K resolution time lapse. You can make it a 4K, down resolution it. You just have options. The other option that's a lot easier is to do an internal time lapse. It'll take those pictures, automatically stitch them together into a 4K time lapse for you. It's great, much easier. If you want a simple time lapse that doesn't take much post-processing, you can just throw it into your video. It looks great, it's easy to use, but you're not gonna get as much quality, as much depth to it. And also with that lack of resolution, you can't do as much post-processing zooming in as you would otherwise. So we're out here again. A big part of time lapses is sunset photography. The sun is in a beautiful spot about to set. But now I've switched out to the 18 to 35 by Nikon, because this one I have an ND filter for. This one's by Gobe. I've done a little review. I'll put a link somewhere above or in the description down below if I forget. So I like this lens because it goes to 18 millimeters, super wide on full frame, but it can also accept the ND filter. So that's a really nice feature to have. So let's get to it. So the problem is without the ND filter, I have to set this up at an aperture. Currently it's around aperture f22, which is super high up. Everything's gonna be in focus, but I don't like shooting at aperture 22. You really should step that down. So the problem without an ND filter is because you're shooting into the sun, into a very bright sky, you're not gonna get that slow shutter speed to get a really smooth time lapse. Because when you slow it down, it makes the clouds very smooth and buttery smooth. The water will be smoothed out. Very quick shutter speed, the clouds are going to be very staccato moving across the sky. But with this, I have it all the way up to f22 and all the way down to ISO 100, and it's still not a very fast shutter, or not a very slow shutter speed. It's still really fast, around 1/60, 1/50 or so. But with this, this allows you to step it down, get a little bit slower. It's not going to be the slowest because this isn't. It's only an ND 64, but that definitely unlocks a bit slower in your shutter speed. And I got an ND 64. I got a static one because static ND filters instead of a variable ND filter are just gonna be a little bit better for your money. I would rather have a couple static ND filters than one cheaper variable ND filter, because you rotate it, if it's not perfectly aligned, it's gonna give you weird banding of dark stripes in it. A static one is just gonna be smooth all the way across and fairly inexpensive for the price for what you get. So let's get it on there. Let's try that time lapse. But I just wanted to be a quick video on how great it is downtown Huntsville and how great this camera is, some time-lapse things, some little tips, tricks, tutorials. That's what this channel I think is all about. So comment down below if you have any tips that I missed. This is just a simple video, so I'm sure I missed some that you love. Anything that you really found that has unlocked your ability to create great time lapses. I'm gonna do a separate video more dedicated to the slow motion shots and the settings of the Z6 that I use to get that just perfectly tuned in. I really thought 2020 I'd make more videos, but I've moved recently down to Huntsville and changed jobs. So it's been a big transition in my life and haven't had as much time to make videos as I wanted. I wanted this to just be a simple one to get me out there, get me creating. So I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know down below if you make some great time lapses and want me to see them. Post the videos down below and I'll go watch those. While you're down there, like and subscribe to this channel. It really helps the channel out. To see it growing, it's really exciting to see. Hope you guys have an amazing day. Go take some pictures, go take videos today. Go Toaster out.